Hello, YouTube. I am Beverly Walthour, your TV and radio show host and your business strategist. Do not forget to like and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So once again, I am Beverly Walthour, TV and radio show host of the shows Talking Business with Beverly. We film here in Atlanta, Georgia. I am also a business strategist for Christian female coaches. And my goal is to help my coaches generate more impact and income in their coaching business. So my clients generate their next 4 figures in 3 days and their next 5 figures in 30 to 60 days after working with me. And so if you're looking to generate more coaching clients in your business, then definitely make sure that you check me out. And so for today's tutorial, we're just going to talk as coaches and talk about how to identify your ideal client. And not only just your ideal client, but your ideal client that is ready to buy from you now, like right now. Like they have the credit cards out there ready to pay you for your coaching services. So I always say with these tutorials, make sure that you have paper and pencil, because my goal is to give you the information and then I want you to actually go out and implement. And once again, let me know in the comments below how things work out for you. And so now let's go ahead and dive right on in. So of course, when it comes to your ideal client, I always say this. I'm not the coach that's going to ask you how old is your ideal client, what's her marital status, her educational background. That stuff is good if you're running ads. But a lot of my clients that are generating, these 4 figures, these 5 figures, these multi-5 figures, they're not running ads. They're using the people that are currently in their communities that are currently following them. And so they're going to actually dig a little bit deeper. So when it's time for you to really get to the heart of who your ideal client is, that stuff is more important than what we call the demographic stuff. So what I really and truly want you to focus on now and ask yourself, so once again, in your notebook that you're taking these notes, once you write these questions down, then go back and actually answer them, because I promise you, you're going to get some powerful information from this. So first and foremost, of course, when it comes to identifying your ideal client, I always say your ideal client is usually some form of yourself. And so think about some of the things that you've overcome, some of the things that you struggle with, some of those things that kind of kept you stuck in a particular area, either in your life, so either personally or professionally. And so also ask yourself, how have you helped other people in the past? What are some things that you've helped people kind of overcome and achieve? So that's an excellent place to start. So I always like to try to throw in some examples so that you guys can understand. So me, I am a 6-figure business strategist. And so for me, when it was time for me to decide who I wanted to support, I got to the point where, I specifically now target and work with Christian female coaches, just because for me, my faith is very important to me. So I don't want to have to filter things. So, but however you decide to do that, make sure that whoever you decide to work with, is certainly in alignment with who you are at your core. And then when it comes to helping my clients generate more money, the same thing. For me, I had started businesses before. So this being a business strategist is business number 4 for me. So I know how to start businesses. I know how to make money in my businesses. And so I always started out and said, okay, once I'm able to do something, implement a strategy, then I show my clients how to do it. Then I go through and say, hey, I can help other people do it. That's just me. I'm a firm believer in showing other people how to get results, because I've done it for myself. That's just my philosophy. I know there's other schools of thought out there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what I do and how I support my clients and what I teach my coaching clients. So once again, so when it comes to deciding, how do you support your people? I always say, what can you help someone either increase or decrease? What can I help someone increase or decrease? So once again, I'm going to use myself as an example. So my clients want to increase their clientele. They want to increase the revenue that they generate in their business. So like I said, for me, when I set the 4-figure a month goal, when I started off, okay, let me just make sure I can do this. Okay, let me make sure I can help my clients do it. And then once again, then I moved that to, okay, now let me see if I can speed this up. How quickly can I help my clients do this? So now my clients are generating their next 4 figures. And when I say 4 figures, that's $1,500, that's $5,000, that's $9,000. Like that's when we mean anything from $1,000 to $9,999. That's what I mean by 4 figures. So once again, they are now generating that on average within 3 days after starting to work together. And so, that's what I can clearly say that. I can boldly say that because it's true. I have too many testimonials to disprove that. So it's true. And so for me, being able to generate multi-five figures in a month, that is something, $40,000, $30,000, being able to do that in my own coaching business. And so then, of course, like I said, let me be able to replicate that with my clients. So then when my clients are generating $50,000, $10,000, $20,000, I'm like, okay, cool. They're able to do that in 30 to 60 days. And so now my next milestone is, okay, I want to now be able to show my clients how to generate five figures in 7 days. Because once again, these are all things that I've done for myself. And for me, I want to be able to replicate it in other people. And so now it's like, okay, let me show them how to generate 5 figures in 7 days. So I have clients that are generating 5 figures in 7 days. And my goal is to get them to be able to generate 5 figures in a day, because I've been able to generate 5 figures in 24 hours. So that's my ultimate goal, is to get them to 5 figures in 24 hours, because then they're able to replicate and produce multi-five figure months each month. So that is the ultimate goal. So once again, think about what it is that you've been able to support and help other people do. So like I said, I use myself as the test dummy first. Then I push it to my clients. And then from there, that's when I then go through and let people know how it is that I can show up and serve others. So once again, think about, what have you done for yourself? What have you been able to overachieve, accomplish or achieve yourself? How have you been able to show other people those things as well? And once again, think about it in the terms of what people want to gain or lose, what they want to gain or lose, because that will help you with the problem that you solve. So when it comes to your ideal client, what problem do you solve? Are you able to clearly articulate not only that problem, but then the results you can help them get? Are you able to clearly articulate the problem that you solve for your ideal clients and the results you help them get? That's going to be key to helping you identify your ideal client. So once again, start with where you've been and how you help other people. And then now that will help you, because once again, when you can clearly articulate how you help someone else solve a problem, that's when the people whip out the cars, because they're like, okay, yes, I can clearly see. So I always tell my clients, don't be afraid to share your testimonials, because your ideal client needs to be able to see themselves in that person. So I know a lot of times some coaches will just talk about their own results, which is fine. You can certainly have your results mixed in, but I'm such a firm believer, also talk about the results that you help other people get as well, and mix those testimonials in whenever you are promoting and talking about your services. So like I said, if you're looking to identify your ideal client, once again, think about the challenges. First of all, start with what you may have helped yourself do and how you may have helped other people. And then what have been those challenges? Usually it's either something you're increasing or decreasing. So what are their problems? What are their challenges? Go ahead. That will certainly help you hone in. And then once you identify that ideal client, once you identify the challenges that they have, then like I said, now it's time for you to now let people know. So now show up as the expert, because this is going to attract those people. So show up in your space. So whether or not it's online or offline, I like to do both. And just show people and let people know how you can help solve their problem. Let them know what the problem is that you solve. Let them know how you can solve that problem for them. And I promise you, when you do that consistently, that's going to attract your ideal client. So once again, definitely let people know. I'm also such a huge fan, when it comes to attracting those people that are ready to buy from you. Make sure that you're crystal clear in your messaging, because sometimes, and also, with who you serve. So if you're saying that, hey, my ideal client are homeless people, and I take homeless people off the street and help them to find a home. You want to think about that, especially, as a coach, because you want to ask yourself, is that person able to pay me for my services? And so that's another key piece too, when it comes to attracting your ideal clients. You want to make sure that you're identifying people that can actually pay you. So in that example, I said a homeless person. So yes, traditionally they don't have the funds to invest. Now, what I don't want you to do is make assumptions about a certain group of people. And so I'll explain that in a minute. So once again, when I mention homeless people, yeah, they may be in a situation where they cannot help you. I mean, they can't pay you. But what you can do is ask, how can I use my services to align with another business or organization that may serve homeless people? You see what I'm saying? So all is not lost if that's your target audience. Like if your target audience just financially is not in a position to serve you, it may just mean that you need to align yourself with another business, organization, government entity, however you see that. So think about it like that. Now, what I said before, don't fall into the trap of making assumptions about a group of people. So I've had clients that will say, well, Bev, I work with single moms, and single moms can't pay me $5,000 for my services. That's what I mean when I say an assumption. Me as a coach working specifically with Christians, I've heard, or Christian women don't want to pay, or, this certain group of people don't like to pay. Like, that's what I mean by don't make assumptions, because right now what you're doing is stereotyping, and that's not what I'm talking about. You cannot make a mass blanket assumption because of either one, your personal experience, or two, because of the people that are hanging around you. So like I said, I said to women all the time who serve single women or single moms, and they just like, well, yeah, they can't afford to pay because they're a single mom. No, that says you. That may be your experience and the people that you hang around, but you're going to tell me that every single mom in the world doesn't have the money to invest $5,000 in coaching services? So you want to be very careful, like I said, that you're not projecting your own stereotypes and your own biases into these different groups. And so, like I said, just know that, it's not true when you make those types of, when you make those blanket statements. So you want to be very careful about that and make sure that you're not making those assumptions about the people. So like I said, there's two different groups of people that I said. Once again, homeless people traditionally don't have the funds to be able to pay you. So like I said, that type of situation align with the business or organization. But once again, we're not going to make assumptions about groups of people based on our own biases, based on the own people that are in our in our own sphere of influence. So be very careful of that. So you guys, those are right there, two things right there that you can take and go for it when it comes to identifying your ideal client. So once again, that your ideal client is usually some form of yourself, something that you've actually been able to achieve and get through and break through yourself, and then you've been able to help other people. So once you get clear on that, now get clear on who you serve. So what are their challenges? How are you going to help them overcome that challenge? What results can you help them to attain? And then get out there and let them know, this is what I do to help my clients. This is where they started, and then this is where they ended up after working with me. Like, take them through the process of what it was like to work with you as a coach, because once again, that allows people to see their stories in what you're saying, and then be able to also see themselves getting the results. And so you guys also, when it comes to your ideal client, get really specific with that pain and that challenge that they're having, because a lot of people say, what's their pain point? What's their pain point? What's their pain point? It's more than just that. It's more than the fact that they, for me, my clients want to generate more money. It's why. How did they get into this current situation? Like, what's going on? How is this current situation impacting other areas of their lives? Dig deep into who you serve. Get to the why behind how they got into this particular space and this particular place in their lives, because I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference when you're out there actually speaking to your ideal client, because once again, it lets them raise their hand like, oh my gosh, how does she know I was dealing with that? How does she know that I was struggling with that? How does she know that because I'm not generating the revenue that I desire, then now it makes me wonder, should I even be an entrepreneur? Now it's making me wonder if I'll ever be able to open up that community center that I've always dreamed of opening. But if I can't make the money to do it, then I'm not going to be able to do that. So once again, how does she know those little secret thoughts that I have? So like I said, how are those things impacting other areas? I'm so frustrated with what's going on in my business that I'm snapping on my kids. I'm snapping on my spouse. I'm spending all my time glued to my computer that I don't even have a social life, because I'm like, hey, I just posted something. Now let me sit there and watch the post and see if people respond to it. Oh my goodness, I just put something out for somebody to click on something. Let me sit here and watch to see whether or not somebody's going to click on that link and go pay for it. So, I know, hey, that's my ideal client. That is what's going on with my ideal client. And once again, when you get to the heart of that, and when you really get specific on how that problem and that challenge is impacting them in other areas, and you actually talk about it and let them know, hey, I have a solution. Because as entrepreneurs, our goal is to solve a problem. So you're letting them know that, hey, I'm able to help you. This is how I can help you. This is how I help other people. Do you want this service? If you want this service, this is where you're going to get it. These are the next steps. This is what you need to do. You guys, I'm telling you, this is very powerful information. So once again, certainly make sure that you write these things down about your ideal client. Once again, think about yourself. If you're struggling with even who you want to serve in your business, what have you overcome yourself? What have you helped other people to overcome? What were those challenges? What were those problems that you had? How did that impact areas of your life or their life? More than just the immediate. Why? How did they get into that situation? What is it that they actually want? What do they desire? Why do they desire that thing? So those types of questions are questions that you really and truly want to ask yourself when it comes to your ideal client, because once you do that, we're going to use that information when I talk about it in the next part, which is going to be how to package and price your services, how to use that information when it comes time for you to package and price your offers. So you guys, just those things right there, like identifying your ideal client. Once again, also a piece of that, talk about what her buying habits are. So when it's time for her to invest in herself for your ideal client, what are her habits when it comes to that? Because that's key too. That is key as well. So you certainly want to make sure that that's part of what you talk about when you're really and truly mapping out who your ideal client is. Because once again, your ideal client, when you know who you serve and the results you help people get, you have that big, bold promise of this is how I can help my people. I'm telling you, they will come running because hey, they see that you can help them. They see that you can support them. And once again, it's not just you putting out, say, for instance, a post on social media and saying, hey, are you 25, married with 2 kids, and, you're looking for a better life? No, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, that's not how you put that message out there. Once again, you really get to the heart of what it is that's going on. And hey, so I can take something like that and ask this question instead. Hey, I see you as, this mom, and you have 3 kids and they're always pulling on you, and you've gotten to a point now where you've lost who you were. You remember back when you, right before you went to college, and all the dreams that you had, and you had this desire to be a dancer. And now when you look at your life and you see what's going on, you're asking yourself, how did I get so far removed from the dreams and the visions that I had? See the huge difference in how I just described that versus, hey, are you 25 with 2 kids and looking for a better life? No, once again, when you get into and you dig in deep to what's going on with your ideal client, that's what makes her pay. That is what makes her pay, because she can see that you understand what's going on with her. And then once again, let her know, hey, I have that solution. And so tomorrow, the next video that we do in this series, we will talk about, well, hey, how do I package that up in a way where, hey, not only am I going to package it up, but I'm going to also price it in a way where I'm going to go ahead and have her just whip out that card and say that she's ready to pay. So make sure that you tune in for the next part of this, because I'm telling you, now that you know who you're going to serve, we're going to talk about how you package your genius in such a way so that you can serve her. And then we'll finish up the series and we'll talk about, well, where do I go to find her? Where do I go to find her? So how do I actually find these people in my current circle, my current community, the people that I am currently serving right now that are willing to pay me 4 and 5 figures for my coaching services? They are out there, and I promise you, they're right now. They're in your circle right now. I promise you that, and we'll talk about how to find her as well. So once again, that is the quick tutorial for how to identify your ideal client that's ready to buy from you now. Get to the heart of who she is. So once again, if you enjoyed this information, please leave your comments underneath the video. Let me know what you think about this. If you have any questions, leave your questions there. Once again, the link to my Facebook group is in there as well. My Facebook group is a powerful community of faith-based coaches that are really and truly looking to create impact in this world. So definitely make sure that you click on the link to join my Facebook group, Highly Successful Christian Female Coaches and Consultants. I would love to see you over there in the group so we can continue this conversation. I am Beverly Wathauer, TV and radio show host. I am also a business strategist for Christian female coaches. My goal is to help my clients create more income and impact. My clients create their next 4 figures within 3 days of us working together, and their 5 figures within 30 to 60 days of us working together. So if that's what you need and that's what you desire in your coaching business, hit me up. I would love to see how I may be able to support you. Until next time, you two take care.